Good evening, everyone. I'm Jake Harris alongside Rusty Kirk. The question on everyone's mind is who will rise? That is the question that is looming, and it has been looming all season. Both of these teams, Plainview and Fyffe, have risen in some perspective. They've both won their region championships, and they are both sitting on top to high school football world right now. But we're 1 week shy of playoff, and Rusty, it's rivalry week, and I couldn't think of a better game to kick tonight off. But there's games that we move up to Thursday, and tonight we have Plainview versus Sylvania. It's the Sheriff Jimmy Harris game of the week. We're getting set for kickoff. Give me kind of a breakdown of this game and what we can expect going in.
Jake, you talked about how big of a game this game was earlier, and we've been talking up this game all season. It's the moment we've all been waiting for, the Thursday night when the Red Devils come to Rainsville. It's just going to be a big game tonight. I'm going to break it down for the running backs. Two of the best athletes possibly in the county, probably two of the best, is number 25, Austin Steeple from the Fyffe Red Devils. He's got over 1,300 yards on 124 attempts and almost ties Trent Thrash's record with 28 touchdowns. And there comes the Bears muff kickoff. And he's going to move it. That's Austin Steeple, the man I just talked about. Brings all the way out to the 35-yard line. And moving on to the Plainview side of the ball, Payne Anderson on 117 carries has just over 800 yards and 10 touchdowns. And the thing about Fyffe and Plainview is they both have depth. All four of Plainview's running backs have over 100 yards, including the fullback, Brett Bober, with just over 109.
Well, we talked a little bit about the running backs and, how big of a game this is. As far as Plainview, most people and a lot of people are picking Fyffe. They're ranked number 1 in the state right now in 2A. A lot of people are picking Fyffe to win this game. I think if Plainview is going to be in it and they're going to remain competitive, for one, you got to have big defensive pops like that right there. But number 38, Cody Willingham, he came in and lit number 25, Austin Steeple up. But this is going to be a battle up front. It all comes down to Plainview and how they can control the line. If they're going to get in this game, they've got to be able to control on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively. And on offense, the key to me is third downs. Plainview is going to have to convert on third downs if they're going to get back into this, because Fyffe statistically is good defensively, especially on thirds.
That's going to bring up a third and short right there situation for the Red Devils.
He's brought down by number 38, Cody Willingham for the Bears.
That's going to bring up third down and 1. Well, actually, they're calling out for a measurement already. It looks like it's within. I don't think there's any chance that this is a first down.
And you're right, Jake. They're going to be just short. It's going to bring up a very manageable third down for the Red Devils.
Will Mashburn right now coming up to the line with his offense, the only non-senior back quarterback in the county. He has passed this season for 14 touchdowns, 410 passing yards, and he's rushed for 389 himself. So look for him to possibly even keep it right here.
Mashburn coming off that ankle injury last week, guys. I was watching him warm up, and it's still pretty ginger.
And Fyffe is able to get the first down on account of number 25, Austin Steeple.
Austin Steeple on the carry for Fyffe. He's brought down by number 1, Isaiah Glover. And number 32, Dylan Clark for the Bears.
And that's going to move the Red Devils into Plainview territory on the 49-yard line. First and 10 to go.
Fresh set of downs for Fyffe. And if they're going to come out into Plainview's house, they're going to have to come out and make a statement early.
Steve on the counter play, gets to the secondary, breaks a couple tackles, and he's going to pick up about a 12-yard gain.
Number 25, Austin Steeple carries the ball.
And you know what? There's no surprises. There's no surprise what Fyffe is going to do with the ball. They're going to run it, and they're going to run it right at you. And there's no surprising that. It's just execution. And that's why I said Fyffe has to win this battle up front. They have to rely on their defensive line to get up there and to stop these runs and force Will Mashburn to throw the ball.
And Fyffe is capable of throwing the ball. They got a great quarterback to put in the hands of the receivers. But Fyffe's one of those teams that just lines up. They'll tell you where they're going to go, and they're going to hit you in the mouth, whether or not you know it's coming, because you know it's going to come, the run. And just as you said earlier, they got to be big on third downs to even bring up the third downs, because Fyffe's one of those teams that they don't like to get the third downs. They have to get the 6-yard, 7-yard runs on first and second downs to constantly be moving the chains, all about tempo.
For a 2-yard gain there. It's going to bring up second down and 8 for the Red Devils.
Brings up second down for
Again, it's the Sheriff Jimmy Harris game of the week.
And you know, guys, both these teams pretty set in their offense, but I look for some trickeration out of both sides tonight, as goes the history of this rivalry.
You know, Jordan, that's probably a very safe bet. Well, look at that, Austin Stiefel on the carry, and he's able to move the pile a few yards after contact. And that's going to bring up third down 4.
Austin Stiefel on the carry. He's brought down by number 1, Isaiah Glover for Plainview, and it brings up third down for 5.
Now, Jordan, I'm not sure how the temperature is down there on the field, but up here on top of the press box, it is cold.
Yeah, it's cold down here, but I think you guys are dealing with a wind that they're not dealing with on the field. So that, you know, at field level, I don't think it's quite as bad right now.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, and a big stop right there by the Plainview defense. Number 1, Isaiah Glover, comes up with a big tackle.
28, Tyler Ashley.
And that's going to be a loss of 2. Actually, a loss of 1. It's going to bring up fourth down. And about 4.5 to go.
31-yard line, 4th and 4 for 5.
And I see no signs of punting. Now, we have seen Fyffe go, you'll notice he is in the shotgun set. We've noticed Fyffe, sometimes they go with this little pooch kick. No such luck this time. As the quarterback does decide to keep it, he picks up a first down on a gutsy call from Coach Benefield.
Number 15, William Mashburn keeps the ball.
I do like that call from Coach Benefield, though, because you're in no man's zone almost at that point. You got 4th and 4. You're on the 30-yard line, and you can't punt the ball. You can't kick a field goal. You don't have a reliable field goal kicker. You're going to have to put it in the hands of your sophomore quarterback, tell him to get the first down. I like the play call right there.
Well, they definitely did a good job. They're already in Plainview territory, and they keep this drive alive. First down and 10 after a gutsy call. And Mashburn's going to keep it again. And this time they are going to move inside the red zone. Red zone, of course, brought to you by Mattress Planet, the king-size red zone. If you're looking for a mattress or a bed of any kind, give Eric Hutchins a call down at Mattress Planet in Fort Payne, located back behind Captain D's on Highway 35. 844-9511, the number. Eric Hutchins, the man you need to talk to. And you knew Fyffe was going to come out early and try to make a statement. They're already inside Plainview's red zone. And they faked a high snap. Very clever. And Jordan, you called it. A little bit of trickeration right there. And he gets them all the way down to the 1-yard line.
Number 26,
Will Mashburn.
4-5.
And it looks like he's going to keep himself, and Fyffe strikes first. Touchdown, Fyffe. And the kick on the way. It is good.
Point is good, number 50.
So your score at Plainview is 6:41 left to go in the very first quarter. So I expect to see, and I kind of agree with that. You know, I think both of these teams are dynamic on offense, and I think they can come up with some big plays. We'll see what Plainview can do. Cody Willingham fields the kick. And he will return it out to the 26-yard line, and that's where Plainview will start. Rusty, what is your keys to the game for Plainview offensively, and what do they have to do to get themselves in this game and be competitive with the number 1 team in the state, Fyffe?
You're going to have to utilize all your tools. Coach Pruitt's going to have to utilize Payne Anderson and incorporate, you're going to have to worry about Payne Anderson on the ground, but then you're going to have to incorporate Swayback, Cody Willingham, Chase Willingham. You have to incorporate your pass game too, and I think tonight's game relies on the arm of Chase Willingham. Look at this. Cody Willingham downfield, catches it.
Wow!
Back. Little trickery up there. It's going to bring you all the way down inside Fyffe territory.
You know, Jordan said it earlier. He said you're going to have to look out for a few trick plays. They fake the reverse out to Cody Willingham, and Cody Willingham bombs it downfield on the run, puts the pass on the money to number 14, Will Kirk, the man they call Swayback. You'll hear us refer to him a lot that way. But a big pass downfield, picks up a first down, Plainview, and they're already into Fyffe territory.
It's going to be a big hit right there on Payne Anderson. He's going to be brought down by 28, Tyler Ashley. But, you know, Jake, just as I was saying earlier, Plainview's fate relies on the arm of Jace Pruitt in the hands of the Willingham Cousins and Swayback. You know, I don't necessarily believe, I do believe in the athletes back in 5 secondary, but I don't know how they are with their skill.
Well, you know, if you remember back to the Sylvania game, when Sylvania and Fyffe played, we covered that game, we watched it. Sylvania was able to hold them scoreless, and they got themselves into the red zone 3 different times. He could not convert once they got into the red zone, and they did it by passing the ball, short-range passes, and every time they caught it, 5-10 yards wide open. And you saw that there was a pass there. Jace Pruitt threw it a little bit high, intended for Cody Willingham, but he was wide open. You know, that 4 or 5 yard shot at a time, Plainview capitalizes on that, and they'll be just fine.
Screen play to Willingham. He's going to bring it out to the 30.
Number 11, Chase Willingham for the.
An audible call by Coach Pruitt.
And comes 3, and he's going to be sacked. Tyler Ashley, the man that chased him down. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. Plainview.
So Tyler Ashley leads the pack and gets a sack against number 12, Jace Pruitt. So your score right now, 7-0 with 5:05 left to go in the first. And right now, Fyffe in control. Just a gutsy call right there to go for it on 4th down. Both teams electing to do that. And you almost wonder if Benefield went for it on 4th just to kind of coax Pruitt into going for it on 4th down if it came into that situation. Well, I'll tell you what, if that was the plan, it worked to perfection. Talking a little bit about these coaches, you know, you talk about Paul Benefield and Dale Pruitt. You know, Paul Benefield, of course, at Fyffe, and Pruitt at Plainview. That run, of course, going to number two, Dylan Kilpatrick. But like I said, talking a little bit about these coaches, these guys combined for, you know, we're looking at 484 wins right now. Paul Benefield with 221 wins and 50 losses. Coach Dale Pruitt with 263 wins and 118 losses. You know, that's an 81.5 win percentage for Paul Benefield. Now, here's the thing I want to talk about. Playoff records. You would expect Benefield to have a little bit of an edge of some sort. Benefield's sitting at 25-20 in playoff records. Well, you got Coach Dale Pruitt sitting at 31-21. So, you know, in those high-pressure games, it seems like Pruitt would have a little bit of an edge, so we're going to see how that pans out tonight. But remember, this senior class at Plainview has never beaten Fyffe, and they're hoping to see that change tonight.
That's right, Jake, and I've heard some say, if it's not this year, maybe never.
You know, and that's a very solid point. And in the grand scheme of things, this game doesn't matter a whole lot when you're talking, you know, what happens next week, because playoffs. But this game means more to those kids and possibly even to some of those coaches more than going into the playoffs.
Number 2.
I was doing Kilpatrick on the little spin move. Picks up about 5 extra yards after contact.
Number 25, Austin Stiefel on the carry.
Number 25.
And Fyffe being able to move the ball, I mean, it's definitely tough. They're taking some hard shots, but they're picking up lots of yards in the process. So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 1 to go as a timeout is called for Plainview. We'll see what kind of adjustments can be made.
Timeout on the field called by Plainview.
And the Fyffe faithful, very proud of their team right now, and how can you blame them? But with a timeout on the field, we do have to remind everyone, timeouts are sponsored by Horace Clemens, candidate for Senate District 8. Family man, businessman, veteran, leader, Horace Clemens. So here we go, 2nd down and 1 coming up for the Red Devils of Fyffe. If you're just joining us, it is the Sheriff Jimmy Harris Game of the Week. Fyffe in the all-white, Plainview in the blue tops and the gray pants.
And another one of those low snap fake calls. And Plainview catches a lucky break right there as number 14, Swayback, makes a shoestring tackle.
Number 14, Will Kirk for the
Ryan Martin on the carry, number 26. He's able to get out, and Fyffe has done that a few times. They faked a high snap earlier and then a low snap that time, and they're able just to send a man that they kind of hid in the backfield out, and they send him out, and that moves them inside the king-size red zone, brought to you by Mattress Planet out of Fort Payne. Call Eric Hutchins if you're looking for a Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, Posturepedic, you name it, he's got it. 844-9511 the number. Quarterback keeps it, and he is hit by a whole host of blue jerseys, but not before he picks up another first down. I do believe it's going to be extremely close.
He's brought down the number 34, Jacob Wooten.
Well, it appears he missed it by a yard, so we're looking at second down and 1 once again, but they are inside the 10-yard line, and I tell you what, if Fyffe gets up 2 scores on you, this is going to be a very interesting ball game, and Plainview is going to have a hard time fighting back.
You're right, Jake. This Plainview defense has got to find some kind of momentum to bring them in. They didn't have a lot of success on that first drive. They drove it down and ended up turning it over on fourth down. I mean, for your offense, you need some kind of stop right here from your defense, but they're not going to get it. As Fyffe runs in for another 6 points and takes a 2-score lead.
Number 25, Austin Stiefel, able to walk in untouched and unharmed as Fyffe increases their lead 13-0 over the home Plainview Bears. The last game of the regular season. That touchdown, of course, brought to you by Wright Properties out of Fort Payne. If you're looking for a new house or land in the DeKalb County area or surrounding areas, giving that right and the friendly staff a call, 997-9400. Extra point on the way. Looks good from here. Looks good to the officials. And your score, Fyffe 14, Plainview 0. 2 minutes and 16 seconds left to go here in the first. Plainview has to find it defensively. They are losing the battle up front for sure. This has been a very, very difficult game thus far for Plainview's defense. Jordan, how are things down on your end? I'm actually looking for you on the field and can't seem to locate you, but if you can hear me, how are things going on your end? What seems to be the feel down on that end of the field?
Well, right now, it's like the life has been sucked out of this Plainview bunch, but it's still early. With their type of offense, 1 score puts them back in it. But you're right, they're losing everything up front. The running backs are getting to the second level before Plainview can get a touch on them, and you can't win this game like that.
Yeah, you're right, Jordan. You definitely can't, and especially when this Fyffe offensive line is doing so well, getting this Plainview front away, and these linebackers, Plainview's linebackers are having to make these plays, but they can't do it because they're getting rubbed off because Fyffe's offensive line is doing such a great job. So when your secondary is making tackles on your running backs, that's never good.
So a big block that we heard. I'm not sure if you heard the crowd's reaction. But number 38, Cody Willingham, gets it out to the same spot he did last time, the 26-yard line, and that's where Plainview will start their drive. Give you a little stat breakdown per quarter. To give you an idea, Fyffe has scored 133 points this season. In the first quarter, they've only allowed 13. Okay, Plainview, 112 points that they've scored all season in the first quarter. They allowed 14. Well, I tell you what, that 14 just doubled to 28 in the course of one game. Payne Anderson looking for room, and Dakota Newsom meets him out there.
Number 21, Payne Anderson gets the call for the Bears.
Gain of 2 on the play brings up second down and 8 to go, and that was good discipline by Payne Anderson. He followed his blocks, but the problem is there was only 1 blocker out there and 4 defenders, and you can't really do a whole lot when situations turn into that situation. So Jace Pruitt, the senior quarterback, drops back. And a wide open Cody Willingham gets a little bit of a seam, breaks a tackle or so, and he picks up a first down.
Goes to number 38, Cody Willingham. He's finally brought down by number 10, Dakota Newsom. It'll be first and 10, Plainview.
And as far as Chase Willingham, he is the leading receiver for Plainview right now. 30 receptions this season coming into this game with 561 yards and 8 touchdowns. He's hoping to add to that total tonight, as he already has a little.
But they're not going to go to him right now as Jace Pruitt keeps it. He's going to pick up about 4.
11, Jace Pruitt keeps the ball.
And that was a good little read play by Jace Pruitt. You saw the line open up. They faked the handoff out to Payne Anderson, and Jace Pruitt found a hole. He got himself right through it. Big hole and a gain of 4 yards, so that's a good run for quarterback Jace Pruitt, who you're not used to seeing on the run a whole lot.
Just under a minute left to go in the first quarter as the Bears line back up. And Pruitt hands the snap off to Anderson. This is the secondary.
Number
21, Payne Anderson gets loose, and he picks up a first down, and Plainview able to move the chains once again.
And it's 1st and 10 for the
And that puts them into Fyffe Red Devil territory. They got here last time, wound up having to go for it on 4th down, did not make it. But Plainview only had one shot as this is only their second drive. Payne Anderson on the carry once again. Looks like he gained about 5, possibly 4. We'll see when the spot comes up.
He's brought down by number 4, Caleb Chambers, and number 28, Tyler Ashley.
We're going to call it a gain of 4.5. So we will say that 2nd down and 6 coming up officially with a timeout on the field with 19.3 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Plainview looking to put some points on the board, but Fyffe leads it currently 14-0. Timeouts, of course, sponsored by Senator for Candidate District 8, Horace Clemens, family man, businessman, veteran, leader, Horace Clemens.
You know, Rose, right here, the first time to end this quarter, Plainview's offense has actually got a little rhythm going, and, maybe that's what they need because other than the trick play, they really haven't been able to get anything going. Hopefully this can turn it around for the Bears.
Well, Jordan, you're right. They've been consistently moving the ball. They've opened up a little bit of a hole with Payne Anderson. He has had, 2 decent little runs. One right there that you just saw to go for. It'll be 2nd down and 6 after the timeout, because it looks like Fyffe's defense is setting on go. But they're going to have to really utilize those little out in the flat passes. We saw Cody Willingham being utilized already, and we saw a big, Cody Willingham right now with a huge pass, about a 30 or 40 yard gain earlier. Throwing the pass, not catching it, which is very rare. But that was actually a really nice pass by Cody Willingham. He threw it on the run. This time Jace Pruitt keeping it, leaving nothing on the line. Senior quarterback Jace Pruitt fights for the first down and gets it. So on a 2nd down and 6 play, they draw up the quarterback sneak. Well, not sneak, more of a quarterback draw. Pulls it up through the middle, and Jace Pruitt able to get a first down. And you know what? Plainview is going to have to be diverse in a way that they're not typically used. They're going to have to surprise this Fyffe defense because Fyffe is trained for exactly what Plainview's been doing. And so they're going to have to be diverse, and they're going to have to be unique.
Number 21, Payne Anderson on the carry for
Dakota Newsom on the tackle.
And it looks like Payne Anderson's going to get flagged for a little bit of extracurricular activity.
And we will see exactly what that call is. I know he kind of shoulder bumped him on the way by. But, I got to say, I don't think he did anything to try to get out of Payne's way either. So we'll see which way this could go either way. Personal foul against Plainview.
And this Plainview crowd is not liking it one bit.
But, from an official standpoint, the emotions coming into this game. Well, you're going to have to find out a way to get that in check early. And with penalties like that, it's going to really ramp up this team to say, hey, we've got to keep our heads on straight. We've got to be calm. Just play the game. And if we're going to beat them, we need to beat them on the scoreboard. And that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, interesting right there. The official over the play didn't throw the flag. The flag actually came from across the field on the play. So maybe questionable.
Yeah, nothing looked very blatant at all from up here, Jordan. I know you had a much better take on it than we did. But we will see 2nd down and a long way to go, so 25. And that's actually 1st and 25. I'm sorry, the down marker is actually wrong. Pass out complete to number 38, Cody Willingham, who runs over a few people.
Number 38, Cody Willingham for Plainview.
And we'll see what the official game was, and that's going to do it for the end of the first quarter.
And number 5, Austin Coots.
Well, this is definitely a competitive game. I know the scoreboard right now says that Fyffe is in a bigger control situation than what they actually are. 14-0 your score. But I tell you what, Fyffe has been successful right now. They've scored on their both opening drives. They only touched the ball twice in the first quarter, able to score both times. Plainview elected to go for it on 4th down their first run, didn't quite get it, and now they're in a situation where Jordan said earlier they are moving the ball very consistently. They're getting it down. They're utilizing passing and running. Payne Anderson, even Jace Pruitt getting in on some of the action. So what do you expect to see in the second quarter? More of the same, or do you think we'll continue to see more surprises from Plainview?
You know, this opening quarter was a great display of what I think what we're going to see for the rest of this game. Excuse me. I think we're going to see a lot of what we've been seeing in this first quarter already. A lot of Fyffe effectively moving the football, running it down your throat. Maybe a pass or two. We might see a pass tonight from the Fyffe Red Devils. You never know. And from the Plainview side of the ball, I expect to see nothing less than a little bit more trickery. You know, utilizing all Plainview's weapons. Maybe we see some more Jace Pruitt runs, some Payne Anderson runs. It's all about effective play calling is what it's about.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, you're going to get all those tricks out of the way in the first quarter and early into the second quarter a little as well. But, you know, once both of these teams see each other and they get comfortable out there playing, you know, those trick plays aren't really going to be as effective as they were to start the game. Yeah, and that's why Plainview drew that play up to begin with, and that's why Fyffe did those early snaps, you know, those strange snaps.
Number 21, Payne Anderson.
Yeah, in the first quarter, and you didn't see them doing it in the fourth, you know, because you want to catch this team completely off guard and get up early, and that's exactly what they're doing right now.
Well, here's a familiar situation for the Bears. Fourth and about 6. This is the exact same situation a quarter ago when Plainview lost their drive when they turned it over on fourth downs. We'll see what happens right now.
Well, Jace Pruitt was sacked last time, so 4th down and 6. Pressure coming. Oh, and look at this. Well, if anyone's going to catch him, it's number 21, Payne Anderson. He's got tons of speed. Don't know if he'll get to him in time, though. Jace Pruitt tried, but he didn't make it. A defensive touchdown on 4th down, 4th and 6. And Plainview is in a deep, deep hole right now against a very powerful Fyffe team. So that touchdown, of course, brought to you by Wright Properties. Not a lot of times you get to see it on defense. Not a lot of times you see a lineman running in either, but touchdown right there, brought to you by Wright Properties. If you're looking for a home in the DeKalb County area or surrounding areas, giving that and the friendly staff a call, 997-9400. Leslie, is this what you expected at all?
You know, I was exactly about to ask you the exact same question, Jake. This is not what I expected. I mean, I couldn't even expect Fyffe to score 21 points and a half. I thought this game would be more of defense. And speaking of defense,
you know, that's right there where I was. You know, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you said I was expecting a little bit more of a defensive battle. You know, a little bit, and I expected to see some high-scoring stuff. But, and you know, Plainview not quite out of this game yet because they've got the offensive firepower to come out and to actually compete against this team. They've just got to find what's clicking because right now nothing is. You know, this is not the Plainview team that we've seen in weeks previous.
You know, it definitely is not, Jake. And going back to what I was talking about earlier on defense, Fyffe, the turnover margins are huge when it comes to high school football. Fyffe plus 14, make that plus 15, ties up with Plainview, who's also sitting at plus 15 on the turnover ratio. And that's how you win football games, and you just got to make them big plays on 4th down, and that was a huge play. Brought it in all the way back, 60 yards for 6 points.
Well, you know, right now Plainview has to come out, and they have to put it at least within 14. So, you know, going into halftime. Look at this huge hole. Number 9, John David Martin. He might go all the way. If you want a question answered, that's how you do it. Number 9, JDM, John David Martin, Bemis. He's got a ton of list of other nicknames. I see no flags on the field. He took that 85 yards all the way back to the house. John David Martin, if you're looking for a statement, there you go. Plainview is not out of this game, and that was right. That was a way to say that they are in it. The speed of number 9, John David Martin, he went untouched into the end zone, 85 yards. Wow.
Incredible.
Guys, for the first time this game, a little emotion on the Plainview sideline. Maybe they just, if you will, woke up the with Fernando Limon set to put the extra point up. And he does. And you know what? This ball game just went from a blowout to a competitive one. 21-7 your score as number 9, John David Martin, puts in the Wright Properties touchdown. 997-9400 the number if you're looking for a home in that area, in the DeKalb County area or surrounding. Wow, what a run by number 9, John David Martin, and he is floating a 4.540. Unbelievable. That kid is fast. You know, if you want to talk about speedsters and all-stars and stuff like that,
well, you can't really look much past this field because everyone that we've talked about this season is on it.
You're right, Jake. I actually opened the game with saying two of the fastest players in the county, if not the two fastest players in the county, are playing tonight.
Yeah, you're right. Austin Stiefel, just a tremendous athlete for Fyffe. Over 1,000 yards already this season.
Look at that! He picks it up!
Can you believe it? Well, okay, the touchdown will not count due to high score rules. Okay, because on an onside kick, what you have to do is as soon as you pick it up.
Recovered by number 31, Brett Boho.
Whoa! Hey, you know what? Maybe they just need to stick to special teams. The touchdown, like I said, will not count. The rules state that if you touch the ball, if it goes 10 yards, Plainview picks it up, what happens is it works the same as an onside kick. So as soon as you take possession of it, that's when you start to drive. But wow, look at that, back-to-back what should have been touchdowns, guarding a very strange rule. It's kind of like the leaping thing, and we've talked about this the entire season. Bearing a strange rule, we've got a 7-point ball game in our hands, but Plainview right now with all the momentum and trailing 2 touchdowns. So right now they back in it. Timeout called by Plainview. Excitement.
What a turnaround.
And you know what? That was just a bad call by Fyffe. We saw him say, get away, get away, get away. But everyone cleared up, and Bobo just took it for himself.
Yeah, you're right. As a player, you've got to have the awareness to know that once it crosses that 10-yard mark, it's fair game.
Crossed the 10-yard mark, it did, and that was exactly what Plainview does with their kicks. They put them right there on the 30-yard line, and look where the ball lies, on the 28. That's exactly where Bobo picked it up, tried to take it in for a touchdown. Unbelievable what we're seeing out here tonight. Tons of fight left in this Plainview team, so if you think this one's going to be over, it's definitely not. It's far from over. We're 1 minute into the second quarter.
First and 10 for the Bears. The football is on the 28-yard line.
Within 1 minute, we've already seen one touchdown. We've already seen one touchdown from Plainview, and probably should have seen another one right there.
Anderson's going to block for Pruitt, and he's not going to pick up but just a couple yards. Call it 4.
Guys, maybe the best defensive player in the county on the field right now. I just watched number 10, Dakota Newsom, at middle linebacker. Last season when Trent Thrash, Coach Benefield made the decision he wanted Trent Thrash to rest and be offensive only, Dakota Newsom was handed the reins, and he led that semifinal Fyffe championship level defense, and he's done it all season this year as well. So definitely, to me, as good as any defensive player in the county.
Yeah, you're right. If you want to talk about a defensive all-star, you can't really look past him. Number 10, Dakota Newsom, is just a hot shot. They do the Wildcat snap out there to number 38, Cody Willingham. Very, very close to a first down. We're looking at second down. Oh, wow, he just moved the yard marker on me, so I'm not sure. We might actually get a measurement here.
Going back to Dakota Newsom, for 3 straight years, he has led the county in tackles for 3 straight years. And 2 years ago, he actually had the defensive MVP award.
And I'm going to say he's a hair short, but we will see. And I'm right, he was just a little bit shy of that first down. So second down and about an inch to go. 10-19 left to go here in the second quarter. And what a second quarter it's been. So senior quarterback Jace Pruitt comes in and leads his team in this huddle. I see a lot of size on the left side of their line right now. And they're just going to let go of the quarterback sneak, number 12, and he picks it up. No problem at all with his father watching on the sideline tonight. Jeremy Pruitt, it's a name a lot of you might recognize from Georgia's staff. A new hire, defensive coordinator at Georgia.
Won the national championship last year with Florida State, the 2 previous at Alabama, and of two-a-days fame with Hoover High School.
You're right. That man's running out of fingers to put rings on him. He is just an unbelievable coach, and he is really climbing the reins as far as climbing the ranks as far as coaches go, and he did it from a high school level, Jordan, just like you said, at Hoover, and now he's, sitting on cloud 9 in college, doing a great job coaching, and his son out here doing a great job at quarterback, number 12, Jace Pruitt.
I didn't want to interrupt you talking about the fame of Coach Pruitt, but number 38, Cody Willingham, just went off the field, and he's right now being checked out by the trainer. So, big news for what's going on in there.
Pass falls incomplete, I do believe. He was looking for number 11, Chase Willingham, in the end zone. Pass does fall incomplete. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 9. Third down and 9. Hold'em is the call from Fyffe sideline.
And this 3rd down just got a lot more manageable. 5 jumps off sides, and I think this one's going to be encroachment.
Okay, so this one, you're right, Rusty, going against the Red Devils of Fyffe. So from 3rd and 9 to about 3rd and 4. And with this close in, if you don't get it here, do you go out on the leg with Fernando Limon to get you 3 points, or do you go for it again? Honestly, I don't know.
Honestly, to me, it's not about the points right now. It's all about the momentum. You've had 2 huge plays back to back. You've got to keep the momentum going. You've got to get through right here, Jake.
Well, how about a first down instead?
Typically, that would be a touchdown. I've seen Payne Anderson make that run so many times. He'll usually slip that little jersey grab out there for the touchdown. I'm surprised I didn't see it now. And he comes up limping.
That's not a good sign if you're a Plainview fan. I imagine he probably just a little bit of a tie-up right there. He should be fine. It looks like he's running definitely on his own accord. We'll see if that works out to where he can be running full speed. We'll see how that, and we'll keep an eye on it for sure. Well, it definitely doesn't look good on the sideline. He's in a lot of pain.
And in shakes number 31, Brett Bobo.
1st and goal. Pass. Oh, falls incomplete. I'm not sure. I almost thought number 14, Swayback, got his fingers up underneath it. That was extremely close. That's one of those you'd have to check a replay on. That was very close.
Nice little heads-up play right there with Swayback. An update what's going on the sidelines. Number 38, Cody Willingham, has come out. He's got his shoe off, being taped up right now by the trainer.
Yeah, Cody Willingham being taped up. Payne Anderson actually on the ground in pain, waiting for a trainer to get to him.
Well, I'll tell you what, Swayback had an opportunity right there. It hit him right in the numbers, and it fell incomplete. I know it's your brother, but I got to call that one hearing footsteps.
I mean, you got to catch that ball. It hits you in the hands, you got to catch it.
Well, a penalty going against Plainview there. And I'm not sure if I said it or not, but they are in the Mattress Planet king size red zone. If you're looking for a mattress of any kind, Tempur-Pedic, Posturepedic, Sealy, you name it, he's got it. Eric Hutchins is the man at Mattress Planet in Fort Payne, located behind Captain D's in Fort Payne. 844-9511, the number. Ball lies on the 6-yard line, so a smart decision there to decline the penalty to bring up 3rd down instead of giving them a repeat at 2nd. So 3rd down and goal for Plainview to put this within 1 score. Play being changed from the sideline.
Trips out to the right side. Bobo gets the handoff.
And he is fighting for the touchdown. See if he gets it. It's going to be extremely close. Close enough to where you have to go for it, because even if you don't, you're pinning Fyffe 99 yards deep. So it looks like he is 2 yards shy. Do you go for it here?
Of course, you got to.
For the Bears,
although you don't have 2 big players in right now, you don't have Anderson or Willingham in right now. I think you've got to use your playmakers, the ones you've got in the ballgame right now, and you've got to put this ball in the end zone. No matter what, you've got to score right here if you're Plainview.
Yeah, very smart timeout called, so they're going to give a little bit of time to the Bears to think about it. With a timeout on the field, Election Day is coming up, and November 4th is the day, which is Tuesday, which reminds me, Horace Clemens sponsors the timeouts here. Family man, businessman, veteran, leader, Horace Clemens, who is running for candidate of Senate District 8.
What's your play call right here, Jake?
You know, I'm with you, but to be honest with you, no, I'm not a football coach, and that's why I'm up here commentating. And I think I've showed about how much I do know about football this season. And I've had a few people shut me up. But you know what? My play call right here, I'm going to stack 3 receivers to the right side. You know, they're on the far hash. I'm going to stack 3 receivers to the right side, and I'm going to sneak a tight end out in a little corner route to the left side. You know, and shoot a little tight end corner pass.
Guys, I'm kicking this. Honestly, 21-7, you get one back, you've got momentum. You cannot come away with no points here. Cut it to 21-10. Use your weapon, Fernando Limon. That's my call.
And that's a smart call, Jordan. When you can for sure bank on points, and it's all but a guarantee for Fernando Limon from here, but I don't see him on the field right now, but I do see number 38, Cody Willingham, back out.
It looks like he's got his ankle taped up and he's ready to go.
Well, how about 2 receivers out to this side and a tight end? And they got it. It should have looked like he caught it. Number 11, Chase Willingham. Touchdown, Plainview. So there you go. The lead cuts to within 1 score, whether he hits this or not. 21-13 your score. Back-to-back scores for Plainview. We've got ourselves a ball game. And that confetti never exploded. Student section shooting confetti into the stands, and that was just a solid block of ribbons and whatnot that never let go. The right property touchdown brought to you by a complete pass from Jay Spirit to Chase Willingham. Extra point on the way. Looks good from here. We'll see. It is 21-14. We've got ourselves a great ball game on our hands. 7:56 left to go in the first half of play. This is how I pictured the game going. A little more competitive than 21-0, but back-to-back scores for Plainview. One coming on a and Plainview up there able to put together a good drive. They drove the ball 28 yards, not a very long drive. Boy, it seemed like it took forever. Matter of fact, 3 minutes and 4 seconds is how long the drive took, but the payoff was great. 14-21 your score, Fyffe on top. I'll tell you what, Plainview with all the momentum in the world right now.
And I'll tell you something I do notice. Fyffe has put a receiver on the 30-yard line, exactly where Fernando Limon kicks it. Maybe they've caught on. It only took him 10 weeks of football.
Kicking off for Plainview, number 49, Fernando
Guys,
Limon.
your Fyffe right here. You know, whether you get points or not out of this next drive, you've yet to be stopped. But you've got to control the ball for a while because Plainview ran a lot of time off the clock in those last 2 possessions, and I'm sure their defense is pretty worn out right now.
Oh, absolutely. So we'll see what Limon decides to do this time. A lot of the same, looks like. This one goes to number 5, and he gets tattooed by about 3 or 4 blue jerseys.
Number 5, Austin Coots on the kickoff return.
Kickoff return fielded by number 5. I believe it's Austin Coots.
Yeah, Coots actually a pretty solid defensive back for the Red Devils. He had a hand injury late Panthers, and so you know, he held on to it there. But another one of those where you hold your breath if you're Fyffe.
Oh, absolutely, especially after the mishap that they had in the kick return. Special teams have been disastrous for Fyffe here tonight, and that's exactly what's put Plainview back in it. Handoff to number 2, Dylan Kilpatrick.
And number 2, Dylan Kirkpatrick.
And I think a little bit of interference on our mics coming in. We've got a whole lot of radio stations and TV stations up here broadcasting this game. We are not the only ones. So, you know, I tell you, we're catching a lot of interference from all around. There's only bound to be so many frequencies. 7:25 and counting left to go here in the opening half, and it has not disappointed just yet. 2nd down and 5 after the 5-yard gain by Dylan Kilpatrick. And they elect to go with him again.
You know, this is a big series right here for the Red Devils. They just come off 2 consecutive Plainview scores with their defense not doing a whole lot of anything. Let's see if their offense can get going. This is a big third down right here for the Devils. You talked about earlier that your key to the game was converting on third downs. This is a big third down for the Devils, and if they don't get it right here, this could spell disaster early.
Well, we're looking at third down and a long 3, and this defense has fresh legs for Plainview. They've been sitting on the sidelines for quite some time. Of course, obviously, you'll notice some of them playing offense too, but a big third down right here nonetheless for the Red Devils. We'll see what happens. They send a man in motion, and it looks like it's going to be stopped. And actually, to be honest with you, they fooled me. I thought it was the number 25, Austin Stiefel. But I think number 15, the quarterback, the man that we all thought was hurt.
Right, that was Mashburn on the carry. He's going to be brought down by number 23, Sam Mueller.
You know, I'm glad you said it, Rusty. I had a horse in my throat or frog in my throat or something. I was trying to fight a cough away, and you said it. Will Mashburn with the keeper right there. In no way that they are going for this. 4th and 1 in their own territory. Do you know, with timeouts left, do you think that they're trying to just get Plainview to jump right here? We'll see.
I think you're right, they did, but they are going to go with the play.
I don't know. Oh, Austin Stiefel has the speed, and he got it. And then some. Down the sidelines he goes. Oh, he breaks the tackle right there. No way. On a 4th and 1. What a gutsy call. John David Martin had his hands on him, but no such luck. He breaks it and takes it to the house. 58 yards. 58 yards on the carry. Number 25, Austin Stiefel, takes it to the house for Fyffe for a Lot Properties touchdown. We're looking for a new home in the area other than the one Austin Stiefel just took it to. Wow, what a run. 997-9400 the number. Great run right there by number 25, Austin Stiefel. Extra point on the way, and it looks good from here.
Extra point is good, but
I couldn't believe that he scored. I actually thought he went down earlier. It looked like John David Martin had his hands around him. Like a horse collar tackle.
You know, he did. He had his hands on it, but that elusive number 25, Austin Stiefel, able to slip away, cut the field back, and he got it. Put the points up on the board, and now 28-14 your score. This is going to be a high-scoring affair, and you know, you're going to have to find a way to stop Fyffe, and they were doing just that. You know, you can't really beat yourself up over that play. You've just got to get it right back.
But you know, you can't just look at that play right there, that 4th and 1, and you can't tell me that it wasn't a bust. There was at least 3 missed tackles. I saw Isaiah Glover with a missed tackle. You can't, I mean, when it comes to 4th and 1 in your own territory, you can't miss a play like that. You can't allow that big 56-yard run.
Well, you know, here's the bad news for Fyffe. Their defense just sat down, and now they're about to have to jump right back out into it. Line drive kick. This time, I believe number 11, Chase Willingham, I do believe.
It's actually Caleb Hughes, sophomore.
Number 17.
Number 17. I'm sorry. It looked like number 11 from here. So there you go. Caleb Hughes on the carry.
Edward Carroll. It'll be 1st and 10.
Yeah, Cody Willingham noticeably limping. You tell on that last defensive play. When Stiefel got that angle, he, Cody Willingham could really have no shot at it.
They're going to line up and trip stride as Jace Pearl looks at the sidelines to get the call.
5:35 left to go in the first half. Fyffe leading it right now by a score of 28-14. And look at that, Dakota Newsom with a big hit on the All-Star, number 21, Payne Anderson. And he's still limping, favoring that right leg just a little bit.
They're going to say he only lost about 6 inches, but nonetheless a big.
So not a very big loss, as they do count forward momentum just a little. So we're looking at 2nd down and still 10 actually. Same formation, trips to the near side. This time they go with Brett Bobo. He dials up a run. He only gains about 2 yards.
For the Bears. He's stopped by number 54, Ethan Jones of Fyffe.
Guys, again, Willingham just laboring.
Bobo, number 30. Confirm that to what we.
So not a good thing if you're a Plainview fan looking at Willingham.
And you also see number 31, Brett Bobo, come up pretty slow after that hit.
Well, you know, definitely some hard hits going on out there. I mean, this is a rivalry game. And, you know, if you're a coach, you know, sometimes you have to think about what's happening next week and the longevity of what's going on. I mean, you know, you definitely don't want to lay down in this matchup. I mean, it's one that was going to set you up, taking you some momentum into the playoffs, but you got to think about the playoffs at some point. You know, you have players drop from time to time. You know, you've got to step up and you've got to figure out a new game plan. Right now with 4:28 and counting, Fyffe's going to have to figure out, or I'm sorry, Plainview going to have to do something to figure out how to move the ball offensively, because right now Fyffe doing a great job on defense.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys, neither one of these teams are concerned about the playoffs tonight.
And Brett Bobo. Some sort.
Pressure coming. Jace Pruitt able to escape. And escape again. Not the third time, though, is a huge loss. No open players downfield. Not that Jace Pruitt could see anyway, and that's going to bring up a big fourth down. It was 3rd and 7 going into that up there. And you know what? Looks like we're about to see our first punt of the night. But definitely not our first fourth down.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Definitely not.
You know, a situation where I thought Fyffe should have punted earlier, they ran it in for a 57-yard, 58-yard touchdown.
And we have seen Fernando Lamone fake a punt this year.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do it 2 touchdowns down deep in his own territory. Not like this. Not against this very strong Fyffe offense. And a high punt. And a flag on the play, so we'll see. Number 9, John David Martin and number 25, Austin Stiefel, collided around the 47-yard line. I didn't see what happened, but that's where the flag was thrown. So we'll see how that one comes up. And it looks like Austin Stiefel came up and was charged for the hold right there. So the penalty going against Fyffe with 3:21 left to go in the first half. The Sheriff Jimmy Harris game of the week.
And I'll tell you, Jake, this Plainview defense needs to come up with a stop and get the ball back before halftime and build some kind of momentum before they do head into halftime, so where they come out in the third quarter. But the most important drive of any ball game is the first drive out of the third quarter. And Plainview gets the ball back to start the third quarter, so they're definitely going to have to get a big stop right here on defense. Do something with the football, get some momentum. If not, put some more points on the board. Head into halftime, get your heads right, and come back out and start playing some more football. Yeah, 14 down is not a bad score to take into the field house at halftime. That's not bad. You know, it'd be nice to score and put some points back on the board to give yourself a chance to tie coming out start of the third quarter. But really the most important thing is to figure out a way to stop this offense. And a flag on the play. Isaiah Glover. And I believe he's pretty upset. I'm not sure what that flag is going to be on. Possibly a horse collar tackle. I'm not 100% sure. We will see. Personal foul face mask against Plainview. So that 5-yard gain actually just turned into a much bigger one. So a first down because of the penalty. That's going to be a big penalty. Moves Fyffe all the way to the 46-yard line. Just over 3 minutes left to go in the half. Yeah, when you take a 5-yard run and you turn it into a 20-yard gain, I mean, that's definitely detrimental. Oh, no, look at this. Number 25, see you later. It's actually number 28. Tyler Ashley takes it to the house for Fyffe. Number 28. That's the last thing you want to give up. You've got to be able to get that one back if you're Plainview. Right Properties touchdown. Thanks to number 28, Tyler Ashley, increases the score. You know, this one's 34-14 right now. If you're looking for a new home in the Cobb County area or surrounding areas, look no further than Right Properties in Fort Payne. Annette and the friendly staff are regularly waiting your phone call, 997-9400. Wow.
And guys, they're going to have to drag Cody Willenheim out of this game because he's not going to tell him he's coming out, but he cannot move at all.
Extra point.
And the extra point is good. So with an injured Cody Willingham, Plainview has to come up with a big answer right here. Special teams have been what's done it for them so far, but they are trailing now by 21 points, 35-14 your score. 2:52 left to go. A whole lot of touchdowns in this game so far.
Fyffe is still to have a possession where they don't score.
You're right. They even scored one defensive touchdown. So, they've had the ball 4 times, and they've scored 5.
You don't do that. You don't do that too much.
So here we go with a kick on its way, about to be on its way from Fyffe. Plainview with 3 minutes to work with, actually 2:52 to be exact. And we've already seen 1 touchdown off of a kick. And if you're Plainview, you'd really like to see another one right here.
If we look down, you'll notice that John David Martin and Caleb Hughes have switched sides. John David being on the left side, which is where the ball has gone just about every time. And they're going to give it to Hughes, keep it away from Martin.
Well, Tyler Ashley met him right back there, and this time they drop him before the 15-yard line. Well, actually, I believe with forward progress, they may actually get to him at about the 17. We'll see. So they do. They're going to start this drive at the 17-yard line.
Pick it up and run it.
Plainview has to be able to do something. This game's not even going to be competitive. Fyffe, they're being able to score every time. Fyffe has to be able to get away to make turnovers on defense, but they've got to do something offensively because they've not been able to thus far.
It's Coots right there on the pass breakup.
Brings it second down, Plainview.
And Coots had the jump on number 12, Jay Spear, right there on that pass. They're doing a good job defensively on the pass right now, which is something we haven't seen, a whole lot of from Fyffe, but they're doing a great job right now defensively overall. You got to give credit where credit's due.
And in checks in number 21, Payne Anderson, for the first carry since he left the game in the first quarter.
And it looks like a gain of 3, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 7. And, this right here is where Plainview's got to get themselves back in the game is 3rd down. So, they're 3rd down and a long way to go. Or what seems like a long way. 3rd and 7, typically not that big of a problem. One-on-one coverage to the near side. The injured number 38, Cody Willingham. And a sack recorded again against number 12, Jace Pruitt.
He's brought down by number 2, Dylan Kilpatrick.
And it just kind of gets hard to watch after a while. This is a lightning fast defense, and they're coming up with such different angles. And we're going to see Fernando Lamone come on and punt this ball away. And now Fyffe will get the ball back with about a minute 40 probably. Maybe we're on down to about a minute 35 maybe.
And Jake, we're not typically used to seeing what we're seeing tonight. When Jay Spears drops back the pass, one of the things that makes this Plainview defense so good is this front offensive line that gives Pruitt so much time to make a decision.
Just a bad punt right there by Lamone. And it bounces out of bounds at the 42-yard line, and that's where Fyffe will start their drive already into Plainview territory. 35-14 your score. And, unless something changes, I expect Fyffe just to add to it again. Plainview has to get in there defensively and force a turnover, force something. But 21 points down going into the locker room, almost a guarantee at this point.
Fyffe the football on the 47-yard line.
No way. Number 28, Tyler Ashley.
Number 28, Tyler Ashley carries.
On the carry.
He's brought down by number
Puts Fyffe inside the 15-yard line, all the way down to about the 16. Actually, I think they're going to mark it on exactly the 15. So Tyler Ashley, he's been getting the boot of the carries tonight, and he's done a great job. A minute 15, didn't run a whole lot of time off the clock right there, and now they're in the king-size red zone, brought to you by Mattress Planet out of Fort Payne. 844-9511 the number.
You know, that's just a hard play to defend right there. The double handoff they give it to Ashley. They give a little fakery. They hand it to Steeple. They fake the handoff to Steeple, give it to Ashley around the other end. And Plainview's defense, the linebackers are taking the bait every time. That's a successful play.
He stopped by number 23, Sam.
With number 38, I noticed Cody Willingham for Plainview just checked himself out of the game.
Second and goal for Fyffe. The football is on the 12-yard line.
So with the ball on the 12 right now, 46 seconds to go, probably down to about 42 by the time they get the snap off. And we're going to see the first pass of the day. Oh, and John David Martin had an opportunity right there. He had his hands on it, and it falls incomplete. So that'll stop the clock with 36 seconds left. And that's going to bring up third down.
What a play would have been right there for John David Martin, who took it all the way to the house on a pick six.
And you know, I'm not really sure why, but it must be third and goal. I'm not seeing the markers up, but I guess they were right inside the 10-yard line, so it must have been first and goal when the Austin Stiefel handoff lost yards. So we'll see third down and goal to go. An actual low snap, and look at that. Number 34 from Plainview, he gets a big hit right there.
That's the special teams all-star.
On the carry, he's tackled by number 1, Isaiah Glover.
Guys, Isaiah Glover just blew him up.
Well, I saw Mashburn try to go forward, and he went nowhere but back, and his hips were the first thing to lead. So a great tackle right there by number 1, Isaiah Glover, able to blow that play up. 30.8 seconds to go, a timeout on the field on Fyffe's end. Timeouts, of course, sponsored by Horace Clemens, candidate for Senate District 8. Family man, businessman, veteran leader, Horace Clemens. 35-14 your score. And, you know, other than the big play out there by Tyler Ashley, Plainview been able to hold for a good solid 3 downs, but they've yet to hold for 4 yet. So we'll see what happens. You know, typically we see we're going to see them go for it, but it looks like we're going to see the kicker come on, and this will be a 30-yard attempt.
You know, guys, I know I've said it before, but we'll watch for the fake here, just because I can see Fyffe want to go in with just a backbreaker at the half.
So it looks like Plainview will get the ball back a little before half. Kick on its way. Looks good from here, and it was. Look at that. A 30-yard field goal.
And the field goal is good by number 58, Russell Moses.
I couldn't see the number of now, was it number 50, Russell Moses? I'm not sure if that was the number or not. Let's take a look right here. It was hard to see if it was 50 or 58, but Russell Moses was the name, so that's number 58. Russell Moses complete. So 38-14 your score. Plainview about to get the ball back with 25.5 seconds left in the first half. The Alpha Halftime Show coming up here in just a few minutes.
And, you know, Jake, I'd like to see another return attempt right here by John David Martin. You know, he's lightning in a bottle. He's just a real fast guy that they need to put the ball in his hands right here and lead him on special teams and try to get something done, maybe get some field position. And they're going to squib it.
And that's a smart call.
Smart call, for sure.
Number 23. Look at that.
On the kickoff return for
That's 23, Sam Mueller running all over Caleb Chambers.
It'll be first and 10 for the Bears.
And Sam Mueller just plows his way down to the, let's see where the official spot is, the 43-yard line. So it looks like Plainview will get just a few chances to go downfield here. And I would expect Fyffe to go into a prevent type defense right here. I would expect nothing less. Jared Underwood a late check in for Plainview right there. Number 9, John David Martin on the carry.
Number 9, John David Martin on the carry for Plainview.
And it almost looks like Plainview will be happy to take this one to the locker room
Ethan Jones.
as the clock strikes down to about 5-4. 3-2-1. And that's going to do it for the first half of play. Fyffe on top by a lot. 38-14 your score. Not the first half I expected. Plainview came back and put it within one score, and then Fyffe came out and put 28, then 35, then the field goal made it 38. So the Alpha halftime show coming up here in just a few minutes. We have the bands getting ready to take the field as the cheerleaders go across and get Fyffe's cheerleaders to bring them back to this side of the field. If you're looking for insurance of any kind, life, auto, health, you name it, Alpha Insurance on Highway 75 in Rainsville should be your choice. Brad Bunch and Ken Gann will be the people to call. 638-8542 is the number. So give them a call, Alpha Insurance in Rainsville, 638-8542. 19:58 left to go until the third quarter for Rusty Kirk. I'm Jake Harris. This is SouthernTorch.com and the Sheriff Jimmy Harris Game of the Week, Fyffe versus Plainview. We'll see you at the start of the third. And here we go, the third quarter about to be underway. 38-14 your score if you're just joining us is the Sheriff Jimmy Harris Game of the Week. Fyffe leading it right now by a score of 38-14. And one thing we were discussing up here off camera was, they do have a defensive mastermind in there in that Plainview locker room, so we'll see if that made a difference going in and starting the third quarter. And Plainview will get the ball to start the second half. And Rusty, this is something me and you talked about. At this point, if Plainview's even going to get back in this game, which, let's be honest with you, it looks very doubtful. But if they're going to, they have to score every drive.
You're right, Jay. Every single drive, they can't have a 4th and 1 or anything that comes up where they come up short. They're going to have to score every drive. And John David Martin right there, most of the point, he was the man I've been wanting to see on special teams. The man that ran it in for the touchdown is going to be brought down before he even crosses the 20. And that's where the Plainview Bears are going to take over right there at the 17-yard line.
And number 2, Dylan Kilpatrick.
I see Payne Anderson on the field. Don't see Cody Willingham.
And I don't want to see the kid back. With him being as hurt as he was, he doesn't need to be back in. Like I said, they have playoffs to worry about. And Plainview spreading the field out. 2 receivers down the near side. Handoff goes to number 21, Payne Anderson.
Number 21, Payne Anderson on the carry.
Gain of 3 on the play is going to bring up 2nd down and 7.
For Fyffe. 2nd down for the Bears.
And, like I said, Rusty, this is not the same Plainview team that we've been seeing as of late. And you got to credit Fyffe, for shutting some of the stuff that they've done down. But this is just not the same caliber of team that we've been seeing.
And a great play right there, number 28. Tyler Ashley breaks up a pass to the tight end. That's number 32, Dylan Clark. Great job breaking up that pass.
Oh, yeah, having the game of his life right now. Number 28, Tyler Ashley, defensively and offensively. He's been all over the place. And a familiar 3rd down and 7.
We talked about how big these 3rd downs were for the Bears. If they want to stay in this game and make it competitive, they're going to have to convert right here.
A whole lot of football left to play, so we'll see what happens. Jace Pruitt's been taking pressure all night. Look at that. Oh, no.
The wide open number 10, Jared Underwood, and I guess that's what you get for putting in some 2nd string. Cody Willingham not being able to. You can't afford Cody Willingham not to be out there to make that play.
But I tell you what, that was a guaranteed 1st down. He hit him right in the hands. Number 10, Jared Underwood, just falling incomplete with the pass. Beautiful strike right there by Jace Pruitt, but you got to have your receivers come down with it. Just an unfortunate situation. And 4th down and 7. Fernando Lamone comes on to punt the ball away. And an end-over-end punt. Oh, a fair catch call. Look at this. Well, don't look just yet. I believe John David Martin had an opportunity to get his hands on it. He did not.
Will Brown comes up with it.
And Fyffe gets the ball. So a muffed kick with 2 Plainview players out there, and that should tell you the way this game is going. Nothing going Plainview's way right now, and it's just fluke situations like that right there. Number 9, John David Martin, had his hands all over it and just missed it.
Jake, you've got to take advantage of those kind of situations. When you get a muffed punt, Bubba did a great job earlier in the game when he picked up an onside kick. Well, it wasn't an onside kick, but he picked up a deep kickoff that might as well have been onside. But John David Martin right there, he's got to get that ball. You got to get your hands on it. You can't afford mistakes this late in the game.
Stiefel carries for 5. He's brought down the number 23, Sam Mueller.
Guys, Stiefel with another great game tonight. Got over him, and he in his next touchdown breaks Trent Thrash's Fyffe school touchdown.
Did you say he just did pass it, or he has one more touchdown to go?
Mistaken. I may be wrong on that. You might have to check me, but I believe his next touchdown will break Trent Thrash's record.
Well, how about that? And a handoff around the end, just following the blockers. Look at the speed of number 9, John David Martin. Wraps up number 28, Tyler Ashley.
Tyler Ashley on the carry. He's brought down.
Gains about a yard. That's going to bring up a long third down for the Devils.
So a 3rd down and 4 coming up for the Red Devils of Fyffe. And this has really been the first truly cold night of football that we've seen so far. It is absolutely freezing out here. Doesn't quite compare to the the Collinsville Valley Head game last year, but still pretty cold.
Yeah, you're right, Jake. That was by far the coldest I've ever been in my life.
Oh, and this right here, they may be backing them up. This may be a much longer 3rd down.
And, you know, to touch on something here, guys,
Jordan,
it's 5.
I'm sorry, we had a hard time hearing you right there.
Back.
So sorry about that. A small breakup right there in connection with Jordan. We'll try to see what's going on there. We will get that sorted out immediately. But 9:41 left to go in the 3rd. This is a penalty went against Fyffe right there. So 3rd down and 10 coming up instead of 3rd and 5. And you know what? They're not going to get it. Plainview's defense. Something must have came alive, because this will be the longest 4th down. And I might see a punter coming onto the field right now. And I'm not even sure if Fyffe have one at this point. Number 25, Austin Stiefel, will be handling the punting duties.
And you know, when your punter doesn't come onto the field until the 2nd half, you know you're doing something right as a football team.
Well, guys, I'm not sure Austin Stiefel is the punter, so there's something right here.
Well, yeah, you definitely keep your eye open. A very low punt, and a smart move by Plainview to get away from it. And it rolls all the way down to the 31-yard line, and that's where Plainview will take over. Number 17, Caleb Hughes, was set back to receive the kick. It never got to him. Kick did come from number 25, Austin Stiefel. So look at that. The first stop of the game for Plainview right there. And now we get to see what Plainview can do coming in, starting this drive from the 31. Payne Anderson on the carry. Looks like he picked up a yard.
He stopped at number 54, Ethan Jones, for 5. 2nd down for the Bears.
Guys, and I just there's no burst from Payne Anderson tonight. That injury is definitely took him back a few notches, and Cody Willingham out of the game, I believe, as well, for good.
Yeah, Jordan, you're exactly right. Like I said, you know, this is not the same Plainview team that we've seen, and a lot of that falls on the back of number 21, a slightly injured Payne Anderson. He just doesn't quite have the juice and the explosion that we're used to seeing from him. Pass out in the flat to number 9, John David Martin, and he picks up a 1st down for Plainview. Good play dialed up right there by Coach Dale Pruitt. With a flag on the play, though.
Tyler Ashley, and there's a flag on the play.
And that was right about where John David Martin broke into the 1st down mark. So we'll see what the penalty is. Oh, and look at that.
Penalty goes against Plainview.
I believe he said holding, I believe was the call. So holding goes against Plainview, and look at that. You know, you strike and you get a 1st down, a good play right there, and now it backs you right back up. You got to play the down over. So 2nd down and 11.
Number 5, Ben Williamson, checks in as the tight end. Or make that the wing back.
And Jace Pruitt keeping it himself this time, only picks up about 3 or 4.
Number 12, Jace Pruitt keeps the ball for the Bears.
So now we're going to be looking at 3rd down and 8 coming up. So a gain of 3. Well, actually, they scooted that. Well, they keep on scooting that play marker ahead. Originally, it was a gain of, or it would have been 3rd and 8. Now it looks like it's 3rd and about 7, maybe even 6. So Plainview coming with a little bit of tempo right here.
You know, and I think this is what happens when the Plainview Bears, when they play their best, they get in this tempo formation. They come out with the trips to the near side. They come out, and they're just going to make some great plays. And look at that! Acrobatic play, sway back.
Number 14, Will Kirk, sway back. Tip catch. How about that? That's the thing you practice all week, the tip drill. If you're a wide receiver or a cornerback or a linebacker or whatever, basically every player on that field, and minus linemen, and some even the linemen, practice that tip drill, and that one was tipped twice before Will Kirk came down with it.
This is going back to what, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Rusty. Go ahead.
Okay. And this is going back to what I said earlier. This is all about tempo. And this is when the Plainview Bears play their best. They're going to come out. They have a big play with a big pass, and then they utilize their offensive weapons on the ground, just like they did right there with number 9, John David Martin, picking up about 7 yards. This is when they play their best.
On that last play, they kept John David Martin in as a max protect. Gave Jace Pruitt time for one of the few times tonight he's had time to throw.
Oh, look at that. Fumble on the play.
Bob says they have it.
And they do.
Fumble on the play, recovered by 5.
You know, and I sound a little disappointed only because I want to see a game out of this, man. At 38-14, John David Martin got stopped and then went back for a second effort, and when he did, the ball pops out. Fyffe takes over, and Plainview had a great drive going there, and now Fyffe, going back to what they do, ball lies on the 28-yard line, and that's where they're going to set up. 1st and 10, flag comes out. Well, I'm only counting 11. I'm still only counting 11. I've counted it 3 times now, so. So with the flag, go ahead, Jordan.
I was going to say just a dejected body language from the sidelines and the stands here on the Plainview side. Fyffe seems pretty confident right now.
Well, with an unsportsmanlike penalty right there coming against coming against Plainview. Wow, 15-yard penalty, and I'm not sure what happened, but like you said, Jordan, must have came from the sideline.
And the penalty goes against Plainview.
Nothing, absolutely nothing going the way of Plainview ever since the kick return. And another flag.
It seems like everything that can go wrong is going wrong right here for the Bears.
Number 32, Dylan Clark.
And that one looks like it's coming right in the general area of a hold, and I believe I did see the signal go against Fyffe.
If you remember, we were talking earlier today, and we talked about Tyler Ashley, and couldn't believe how few of carries he had this season. But he has definitely got a workload tonight, and he has produced the entire game.
Oh, absolutely. So far, player of the game for sure. No one has even came close to producing the yards and the defensive plays and special teams plays that he has so far tonight. He's been money all game long with 6:05 left to go. We're halfway through the 3rd quarter as of right now.
It's going to be a draw play to Steeple, and he's got room to run. Gets to the secondary, makes a move. And he's being followed by a host of Bears, and they're not going to catch him. The speedster takes it in for 6.
What do you say?
Unbelievable.
Austin Stiefel.
Unbelievable. No flags on the play. Number 25, Austin Stiefel, and Jordan Natton did it right there. That put him over Trent Thrash's touchdown mark. So congratulations to number 25, Austin Stiefel, with a huge run.
guys, the best cut I've seen all season he just put on Will Kirk.
Yeah, he did. He absolutely did, because he stopped from a full sprint and made a man miss and then turned on the Jets again. That was a very, very good run.
And the extra point is good. Number 58, Russell Moses.
So there you go. Russell Moses puts in the extra point, and the score increases to 45-14. Plainview just not even here at all tonight.
And there's something else to the game if it stays on this course, and there's no reason to believe it won't. What does this do to Plainview?
Jordan, you're going to scoot a little closer to us. We had you fine when you were on the white carpet there. Try that again. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so we're switching out a few batteries or something. Going to try to get this taken care of. 45-14 the score. 5:42 left to go in the third. Not a whole lot to say. I was expecting a close one here. Caleb Hughes, number 17, takes it. Finds a seam and continues to run even yards after a contact. Gets it out to the 29-yard line, possibly even the 30. We'll see where the spot is. But Austin Coots wrapped up and did not let go. So a good hold right there, but a good return by number 17, Caleb Hughes.
A great romantic.
Pass incomplete to number 14, Will Kirk. You know, and if you're going to have a bad game, you'd much rather have it against Fyffe than you would the first round of the playoffs.
You know, as much as you're right, it's hard to say.
Second down, Plainview.
Because everybody knows how big of a game this is. It's pretty much the Super Bowl of Sand Mountain. People compare it to the Super Bowl of Sand Mountain, the Iron Bowl of Sand Mountain. I mean, this is one of the biggest games around the county every year. And usually two great teams come together, and, you know, we expected a big game tonight, and 45-14 the score 5 minutes into the third quarter, and right now it's being a blowout.
Yeah, you know, you're exactly right, Rusty. And I mean, but the thing I'd like to point out, I mean, you know, it's a game that's important to these kids, but you know, I mean, who's your college team? Is it Auburn? I mean, you're a big Auburn fan. I mean,
that's right.
You know, at this point now that the playoffs in stake, it doesn't really say that this is not really a great example compared to what it would be, you know, before last year or something. But, and I think John David Martin just got the first down right there as he did cross, I believe, the plane. So I believe a first down for John David Martin. But you'd much rather see Auburn get beat by a Kansas State or a West Virginia instead of a team from in their conference. So, you know, that's kind of the same thing as 2A or 3A. If you're going to see your team get beat, you'd much rather see them get beat out of region because you've already won your region. This really doesn't affect you at all in the long run. This game is very irrelevant in the long run, not to your hearts and not to your minds of your players. But in the grand scheme of things, look at that catch, number 14, Will Kirk. He's brought down a few good ones tonight.
You know, props goes out there to number 12, Jace Pruitt, the man that put it up there for him. He saw a mismatch. I mean, you see a 6'5" guy on a guy that's not even breaking the 6-foot margin right there. You're going to have to throw the ball where only he can get it. And Jace Pruitt did a great job right there and putting it in the hands of Will Kirk.
So the question is, can Plainview convert? They've been down in this situation 3 or 4 times now and not been able to do anything about it. So this time a handoff goes to number 9, John David Martin. And you know what? I haven't seen Payne Anderson in there in a while, and I think that's a smart move. I think it's a very smart move to keep Willingham and number 21, Payne Anderson, out of the game right now, only because of what I was talking about. This game, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't mean anything. It's irrelevant. You could literally lay down on your back, get beat 100-0. And it doesn't affect your playoff chances at all. You've already won your region. You're hosting a first-round game at home. And number 14 comes down with it, but he was out of bounds.
Jake, just because I've been a part of this rivalry, and I've lived with these people for many years, many recent painful years. I have to disagree. I think this game seems to set the tone heading into the playoffs every single season. And I honestly, as optimistic as I was for Plainview coming in, as great a season as they've had, this disaster, it will linger.
Number 9, John David Martin on the carry.
You know, and
number 28.
I certainly hope you're wrong. You've been in this situation a lot more than I have.
You know, touching back on what Jordan said, as a former player, I'm going to have to agree with him. You know, it's the last regular season game, and it's the last guaranteed game of the season. I mean, if you don't make playoffs, it's the last week. 10's the last week. But, I mean, the Fyffe game for Plainview definitely sets the tone for heading into the playoffs. If you don't play well against Fyffe, it's a bad omen heading into the playoffs. You might not play well the first round.
Oh, my gosh. 4th down.
And you can't help but you can't blame that one on Chase Pruitt right there.
By number 34, Christopher Collins.
And, well, I mean, just, you know, it was a decent pass. It was a little bit behind the receiver. But Fyffe comes up, and then number 34, Kyle Collins, dives and comes with an interception, and really hurt Fyffe a little bit in that situation because they would have got the ball, about 10 yards further, maybe 8 to 10 yards further up the field than if that ball would have fell incomplete. It was 4th down and 10 to go. But at this point, I don't really think it matters for Fyffe. They can move the ball 99 yards or they can move it 1.
Got 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. Fans are already headed for the door.
Absolutely. 45 to 14. You know, this is just not what you expected. And like I said, I mean, and you can't. This is not taking anything away from Plainview. This is just not the Plainview team we've seen. I mean, and it's not the fact that. Yeah, and I've got to give credit to Fyffe. They've played an amazing game defensively. They've played an amazing game offensively. Really, they've played one of the most solid games I've seen them play all season from what we've seen them cover. But they're not playing a 100% or at this point probably even a 75% Plainview team.
But last week we thought it was the best game we've watched a single team have, Plainview against Geraldine. This, to me, dwarfs that performance based on the level of competition. I mean, this is just Fyffe's done whatever they wanted the entire game.
Number 2.
Yeah, Jordan. I also think Fyffe is they're a special team. If you read the nuggets of the power rankings, I fully expect for them to win the state championship this year. But also had high hopes for Plainview being a Plainview alum as well. But Fyffe definitely for real, no matter who's been on their schedule this year. Call them cream puffs, cupcakes, whatever. Enjoyed everybody they've played.
Yeah, they have, and they're going to continue to do that at least up until the third round. I expect Fyffe to go deep. Now the thing about it is for them to win a state championship, no matter what team you are in the state, it doesn't matter if you're the best, whatever. You're going to have to have you're going to have to win close games. And right now, Fyffe hasn't had one, so you got to wonder what's going to happen when they go into a situation like that, whether it be the state finals or whether it be the semifinals or even the third round. I mean, we'll see as that time progresses, but, I mean, you got to almost guarantee Fyffe to at least make it to the third round. There is some stiff competition, but Fyffe ranked number 1 in the state in 2A. I don't really see anybody I haven't seen anybody play right now that I think could stop it.
2:39 remaining.
So we'll see. 2:39 left to go in the third quarter. Fyffe leading at 45 to 14. Timeouts, of course, sponsored by Horace Clemens, candidate for Senate District 8. And with elections coming up November 4th, I'm sure he'd love for us to get this plug in. Family man, businessman, veteran leader, Horace Clemens.
Guys, I don't know what's got Coach Benefield hot, but he's having to be almost restrained over there on the sidelines.
Who was that, Jordan? I'm sorry.
Coach Benefield. He is hot over something. Up 45-14 in the third quarter. Nick Saban-esque.
Nick Saban-esque. And the hate on Facebook has already started. I know, just someone I noticed. I didn't really even look at it, but I guarantee you, I know I had there was those score predictions made earlier today, and I made one that was dead wrong. And I didn't really expect this turnout at all, but but I saw who left a comment, and I know that I had a little bit of tie up with them earlier today. Just a friendly little banner, and I just got a notification that said such and such commented on your status. So yeah, so I don't even have to read it. I know exactly what it says.
You already know it's hate mail.
I already know.
No, but Jake, I'm right there with you with my prediction. It was wrong even in the first quarter.
Well, you know, at this point, what if I pick Fyffe the first round? I mean, maybe I'm the curse. It seems like everything I've picked this season has just, you know, been shredded to pieces. So, and usually with me, you wind up looking bad. So, you know, who knows? Because this is definitely not the game that anybody, and I do mean anybody, expected.
You know, actually, if you'll remember, one of my good friends, while this play developed.
Ooh, Isaiah Glover, big hit.
One of my friends, Jason Bethune, used to be at the Fyffe Radio Network. After the Sylvania game, you were getting it pretty good from Dakota Newsome and Austin Stiefel, because I believe you had picked Sylvania to upset. And Jason Bethune actually requested that you pick Plainview, just to make sure.
Well, there you go, Mr. Bethune. You're welcome, I suppose. Some score updates from around the county. No surprise here as Geraldine is 28-0 over Crossville, and it looks like the first 0-10 season since 1952. Of course, there's no sense in even talking about the score here. And also another shutout, Sylvania trailing Ider 24-0. So, you know, Ider, you know, they came out and their goal this year was to get their identity back. Well, I believe they've done that and then some. 24-0 the score right there in the third quarter, I do believe. And 14-0 Collinsville over Valley Head.
And the penalty goes against the Bears.
So there you go, score updates from around the county, and not a single game being played except for Fort tomorrow night.
So on that note, with 13 minutes left in this one, looking insurmountable for the Plainview Bears, I believe Fyffe will take their second consecutive Southern Torch Power Rankings championship.
Well, it definitely looks that way, Jordan.
Just under a minute left to go in the third quarter, and Matchman takes a snap, hands it off to Stiefel, and you might as well kiss him goodbye.
See you later.
Will Kurt's got a chance to get him.
He made it.
And it's not going to happen. Touchdown, Fyffe.
Number 25, Austin Stiefel.
You know, Jake, I'm not believing anything that I'm seeing tonight. (51-52) pending the extra point to 14 the score through three quarters.
Through three quarters.
And bad news, Plainview fans. This Fyffe team was supposed to be the reload team with what's behind them. I mean, they are loaded with underclassmen, and this Plainview team is about to lose a huge senior class. So this will be 6 in a row, and who knows when this streak will stop.
Good. Number 58, Russell Moses. It's by 52, Plainview 14.
There you go, 52-14. Just this is painful to watch if you're a Plainview fan for sure, and more seat here on Plainview sidelines as the seats just continue to pour out. And you know what? It only seems like they're getting thicker over there on the Fyffe faithful sideline.
Because we'll fit that, barring some. Did you get what I said?
So there you go, 42 seconds left to go in the third, 52-14 your score. Fyffe.
Well, thank you.
Well, what's the word? Dominating, controlling. You pick right here. They're definitely doing whatever you say, whatever they want. And you know, if said is true and they carry this moment, I expect Fyffe to run the table here, but you never know what's going to happen when playoffs start. You know, one bad game, and you never know. One bad game can cost you a whole lot. And you know what? This may be Plainview's bad game. It's not a guarantee that Plainview's going to go and lay an egg like they have tonight. In the playoffs, they may go out and start and play the same type of Plainview team that went and played Glencoe and lost, what, 21-14?
That's right.
So, they're the number 3 team in the state right now. So, definitely a bad game, and it's a rivalry game, and yeah, it stinks because you've got to see these guys Sunday morning. You've got to see them, everywhere. And John David Martin almost breaks away right there. Number 11, Will Brown, basically just saved a touchdown, I think.
What you said earlier, Jake, about this big loss translating into the postseason, it doesn't have to affect you. I remember my senior year. I hate to talk about it, but we got beat by 42-12, and then the following week we played Susan Moore our first round of the playoffs. We beat them 62-26. So, this game doesn't have to define your postseason, but it sure does help with a little bit of momentum.
Ethan Jones.
Well, it looks like that right there is going to be the last play of the third quarter. As time ticks down, and that's going to do it for 3 quarters of play as we move into the fourth. You're wearing blue.
It's 5:52, Plainview 14.
52-14 your score. Fyffe definitely in control, and they have been all night. See Sheriff Jimmy Harris game of the week.
But you said it, Jake. He's having a little bit of technical difficulties with his microphone, but you're right. 52-14 the score. Starting the fourth quarter, saw several players' hands with the 4 go up in the air. As John David Martin gets the carry to start off, picks up about 6 yards. It's going to be enough to move the change for the Bears.
He's brought down by number 10, Dakota Newsom for 5. It's 1st and 10 for the Bears.
And Jay Spirit takes the snap again, hands it off to John David Martin, the workhorse tonight ever since Payne Anderson went down with the injury early in the game. John David Martin doing all the work.
And it looks like I'm back in business right here, Rusty.
How about that?
Hey, you switch the battery out, it's a miracle. What happens? One of your
And that was John David Martin and Dakota Newsom. Dakota Newsom stopped John David Martin, and both players a little slow to get up.
Pruitt drops back to pass. Oh, a good catch right there by number 32, Dylan Clark.
Number 32, Dylan Clark for Plainview. He's brought down by number 43, Seth Benefield, and number 26, Ryan Martin.
Third down and about 1 to go, which is different than the 3rd and 7+ that we've been seeing from Plainview all night. Handoff to number 9, John David Martin. Looks for a hole, gets it, gets all the way down to the 23-yard line.
He's brought down by number 43, Seth Benefield. 1st and 10 for the Bears.
So Plainview looking to put some points on the board. Too little, too late at this point.
And it looks like Fyffe is going to take a timeout right here with 10:43 left to go in the game.
Well, the timeouts, of course, brought to you by Horace Clemens, candidate for Senate District 8. Family man, businessman, veteran, leader, Horace Clemens. So 10:43, and this is not the polar opposite of what I thought would happen. I definitely didn't think Plainview would win by this much. Now I do have to say, and I made no secret of it, I did think Plainview was going to win this game coming in. And I'm not, they are missing a few key players, but that doesn't matter. Not with a score like this. They had those few key players in to begin with, and it didn't matter then. But, I thought once Plainview came back and put that 14 to make it 14-21, I thought it was going to be a great game going forward. But then, they haven't scored since. And basically they've got down to this situation tons of times, and they haven't been able to convert. So, they've been able to move the ball. It's just when they get down to when it counts, it's been a turnover, or it's been a turnover on downs and just not enough to convert. That is that's one thing you got to be looking forward to right there is number 9, John David Martin, as he will be coming up.
Dakota Newsom for Fyffe.
Coach Wood definitely
Brings up second
would like a couple more players with the heart that number 9's got it under his jersey. That player, that kid's got a motor that runs.
Oh, he definitely does, and it's fun to watch him. It's fun to watch him compete, fun to watch him play. I believe Brett Bobo there alongside Jace Pruitt, who finds a wide-open number 14, Will Kirk, who walks in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, number 14, Will Kirk for the Bears.
So that'll cut the lead to 32 right now. So still a long way to go for Plainview. 10 minutes and 10 seconds left to go. But, hey, a Wright Properties touchdown nonetheless. If you're looking for a home in the DeKalb County area or surrounding areas, give Annette Wright and the friendly staff a call, 997-9400.
And Fernando Ramon comes onto the field to attempt the extra point. And the hold's good.
And the kick looks good as well. And the kick is good. So the lead goes to 31. 52-21 your score. 10 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the ball game. Fyffe leading it 52-21. And I'll tell you what, if somehow Plainview does come back, I don't think there were miracles written bigger than that in the Bible days, Rusty.
I was about to say the same thing, Jake. Nothing less than a miracle.
Oh, goodness. So we'll see what Plainview elects to do here. At this point, kick it deep. Definitely no sense in trying to get back in the ball game. 21-52. You don't want to shoot for an injury at all. Although I tell you what, if you were going to do it right now, would be the time. Look at that lone number 58. He's the kicker, and he's over there by himself. If you would put your hands team out there for Plainview, and just go out and get it, man, right now would be the perfect time for an onside kick. Wow, big hit. Number 5, Ben Williamson, lays the lumber to number 5, Austin Coots.
Talk about number 5, Ben Williamson. Maybe 1st and 10 for the Devils.
That was a big hit, and you knew it was going to be set up for a situation to either get the ball back or lay a big hit. And Austin Coots just got leveled by Ben Williamson.
Guys, it's funny. Last week at this time we were all worried over the Will Mashburn ankle injury, and it's a factor whatsoever tonight.
Yeah, Jordan, you're right. And I thought that one came very, very late in the game. They said he was carried off the field. And it was originally, we understand it was broke, then it was a fracture, then a high ankle sprain, and then turns out it was, who knows? I'm not sure, but he definitely hasn't been limping at all tonight. So, even if there was an injury at all, it definitely has not bothered him any tonight.
And you think about the irony of it all.
47-yard line.
This time last week we were wondering if Fyffe's quarterback was going to play, and then you turn around to this week and you've got 2 major Plainview athletes out tonight.
Looking at this has just been a total team domination, but definitely some standouts here tonight. Fyffe's just so solid up and down the lineup, but you look at Austin Steeple, you look at Dakota Newsom, Tyler Ashley tonight. It's those are 3 guys that have definitely led the way all night, and good luck whoever has them in the first round.
And there you go, another first down by Fyffe. how much clock can they run off right here. Because I know they just want to get out of this one. I know everyone's very eager to go to the house, and Fyffe ready to start doing their celebrating. And both teams.
Also, the McRib is back. So,
Hey.
You know, Dakota Newsome, he's one of those players. I mean, he is. Well, he's a favorite of mine in the county, and what I love about Dakota Newsome is you talk to him, he's so polite. He's a nice guy. He gets it, and then you get out on the field, and it's like he flips the switch, and he's just angry all the time. And that's a great thing you want if you're a coach.
You got to be coachable. You got to be a completely different person out there on the field. Once you put that Red Devil or Plainview helmet on, you're no longer an individual. You're part of a team. And that whole team's got to play with the same personality that each teammate has to have.
If you'll notice, it's a blowout here, and it's cold, very cold. But there's not a Fyffe fan leaving this place till it's over.
Oh, yeah, you're exactly right. And I tell you what, you better remember the score, because I can guarantee you that it's going to be turned off the scoreboard as soon as it hits 0.
He's brought down the number 3, Colton Farmer, and number 6, Ethan Johnson.
No, I'm a little surprised we didn't see a flag on the play right here. Dylan Kilpatrick actually hurdled a player, which is illegal.
Well, you know, the thing about it is if they're laying down or they're hands and knees or something like that, you can jump over them. But if they're standing up and you try to get around them that way, you try to go over the player with them standing up. Yeah, and really, to be honest with you, I don't know what the exact specification is with that penalty, but it's strange.
You know, and it makes me wonder why that's a penalty. I mean, what instance in high school football happened to where that's a penalty?
Yeah, you know, I would think there was more ACL tears and more MCL tears and more, you know, knee injuries at all and ankle injuries messed up from a sideways cut, you know, to get out of someone's way. So if it's the player's safety, I'm very anxious to see or eager to hear what that ruling is and how going over the top of a player, which, let's face it, not everyone in the world can do that. Carry-on Johnson from Madison Academy. And, you know, I'd say Payne Anderson, I know he could, if he had any jumps on him at all, which who knows if he does or not, but I know that he's got some speed. He doesn't typically have to jump over people. He just runs by them. But,
you know, I think the problem with the hurdling and why they changed it was because when a player goes in the air, whether he can do it or not, he's basically giving himself up, and he is defenseless at that point. And I think they just wanted to limit any basically spear shots or head injuries that was going to eventually lead to by stopping the straight up hurdle.
Well, that's the best explanation I've heard, Jordan. So we're going to go with it.
And Kilpatrick gets the handoff to the outside.
And look at that. He just, even yards after contact, he just takes off running.
He's brought down the number 3, Colton Farmer.
And it looks like another injury right here for Plainview.
It's 1st and 10 for Fyffe.
And that looks like number 52, Blake Shangles, hobbling off the sidelines.
And that's not what you want to see. A lot of injuries tonight in this game.
You know, that's especially dangerous for him in particular, because when I was a junior, I tore my ACL. I believe that was his freshman, could have been sophomore year, but he was also struggling with ACL tears. And actually last year he was out last season with another ACL tear. So 2 total surgeries for him on both of his knees. You hate to see him come out, especially during his senior season. You hate that for the kid.
And you got to give it to number 2, Dylan Kilpatrick. He gets up and he said, hey, let's just keep rolling. Let's get this done. I want to put the ball in the end zone. You know, he's comfortable being the workhorse, and he's definitely getting the carries right now. 2nd down and 3 coming up as they are inside the king-size red zone, brought to you by Mattress Planet.
Yeah, and Dylan Kilpatrick definitely the next in that long, illustrious line of Fyffe running backs. Just a sophomore this year. He is a specimen.
And they continue to go with him, and how can you blame him? And look at that. He spins out, dives for the end zone. He got it. Number 2, Dylan Kilpatrick. You can thank him for that entire Fyffe drive. 6:29 left to go in the ball game, and Fyffe increases their lead and just sticks a dagger in and twists it against this Plainview Bear team. 58-21, your score. Wright Properties touchdown, brought to you by number 2, Dylan Kilpatrick.
And the stands continue to empty out on this side of the field.
And the kick is up and good.
Number 58.
So it goes from 58 to 59 to 21, the score.
29 left in the ball game.
And this is the most points I've seen Fyffe score all season.
I believe they hung 62 on somebody.
Oh, well, you're right. I tend to try to block that one out. Hey, there's 6:29 left to go in the ball game. You never know.
We're coming to the second season here, and the end of our second season. And we've consistently had both of these two teams. I'm going to have to go out on a limb and say we have yet to cover any game where a player has stood out as much as Austin Steeple has every time he's been on Southern Torch.
Yeah, you're right. The camera hits that man, and it's not like the camera hits the man. I mean, golly, the ball hits his hands, and he just turns into a beast. If you're beating Trent Thrash's record, and what's crazy is I just feel sorry for Trent Thrash. I mean, that's a record I'm sure he wanted to hold for a little longer. But here comes Austin Steeple and takes it out in one season.
Not even a year.
Not even a year. So, credit due to number 25, Austin Steeple, and also defensively, you got to give it to Dakota Newsom. And I know those boys have I've picked against them a few times, and they've always loved to sit up there and line it up and feed me my words pretty quickly. And you know what? I expect no different tonight. So we'll see how it turns out. But, it's all a whole lot of fun. It's enjoyable covering high school football. I'm glad we are able to do that and bring that to you guys. And it's just a blast. And you know what? Controversy is really what gets this thing going. In between Fridays, Thursdays in this case, but in between weeks, it's fun to speculate and it's fun to show a little bit of controversy. And that's really what gets heads spinning, and it's fun to get that type of conversation going. And I have a blast doing it, and a lot of it, a lot of the stuff, it's just so enjoyable.
And number 31, Brett Bobo on the carry for Plainview. He's tackled by number 43, Seth Benefield. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bears.
Handoff goes to number 22, Clay Cooper.
Clay Cooper carrying for Plainview. He's brought down by number 28, Tyler Ashley.
Cooper also making some noise as a freshman. Am I right? Can you check that for me?
You're right, yeah. He's a freshman. Running back, plays a little bit of strong safety and wide receiver.
Definitely making some noise with on that last special teams play. Returned that one out. Gave Plainview some great field possession. It looks like they're going to give the ball to the freshman.
And there he goes, Clay Cooper, ball on the ground.
And I think they're going to mark him down before it came out.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's going to bring up a 3rd down for Plainview and about 6.
Number 22, Clay Cooper on the carry for Plainview. He's brought down by number 6.
So 3rd down and 6 as Cooper checks out of the game.
3rd down, Plainview. Football is on the 26-yard line.
And how plays like that are important in the grand scheme of things. It's nice to get in there and say, hey, I played against Fyffe. I ran for a few yards against them. Situations like that, it helps them in the long run as that team grows up and matures a little bit, that freshman class. Timeout on the field on behalf of Fyffe. Timeouts, of course, sponsored by Horace Clemens, candidate for Senate District 8, family man, businessman, veteran, leader.
Horace Clemens. Who else would it be?
I mean, when you combine those 4 things, who else would it be?
Nobody. But Horace Clemens.
He's been a lot of fun. he's been a lot of fun. A good sponsor for this season. And you know what? As this is the last game of the regular season, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of our sponsors. And you know, we talked about November 4th coming up. You cannot factor out the sponsor, the overall sponsor, the Sheriff Jimmy Harris Game of the Week. You know, I'm sure he would like for you to remember his name also on November 4th. So 2 political sponsors. A big thank you to them. Big thank you to Wright Properties for sponsoring the touchdowns for the season. Boy, have you got your money's worth. Eric Hutchins down at Mattress Planet getting in and sponsoring the Red Zone. So, you know, sponsors all around. Obviously, you have the Win Agency Rundown. That'll be coming up Tuesday morning or late Monday night. And Jace Pruitt looks wide downfield. And look at that, number 14 gets him another one.
Touchdown pass. The number 14.
Swayback. And you know, I was just talking about Wright Properties. Well, sure, she just got her money's worth once again. Look at this. What a high-scoring affair. This one's going to go to 59-28 if the extra point is good. So if you're looking for a new home in the DeKalb County area, turn no further than Wright Properties in Fort Payne, 997-9400. But I was saying it before, big thank you to all of our sponsors. You guys have been very gracious, and thank you so much for helping make us a successful Season 2 for the Southern Torch crew, and we hope that Season 3 is just as huge, if not bigger. But Fernando Limon coming in to put the point extra, the PAT, and it is good.
Number 49, Fernando Limon.
So 59-28 your score with 4:55 left to go in the game, and I don't expect Fyffe to pull right here.
I mean, you're 100% right, Jake. And I mean, I'm going to have to say that I expect Fyffe to score once again.
I think that's a fairly safe bet.
Although it would pain me to say that Fyffe put up more points against Plainview than they did against Sylvania.
Yeah,
I do not want that to happen.
I knew that was going to come up. I knew it was going to come up. And honestly, I don't want that to happen either. I mean, it seems like this Plainview team's taking enough abuse tonight. But, here's the thing. And I talked to a coach, and it wasn't a coach, here in a high school. It was in the Pee Wee level. I was talking to him the other day. He said, sometimes you play a team, and, you realize it's easy to score on them. And you think, well, let's pull our punches a little bit, and let's put in the third string, or let's put in the second string. But, the thing about it is you're not going to tell those guys not to try to score. If they have the talent to put the ball in, put the ball in. You're not going to take a knee with 4:55 left to go and willingly give Plainview the ball back. Like I said, I expect Plainview or Fyffe to pull no punches. There's a whole lot of time left, and they're going to try to put as many points on the board as they can. And Plainview will be doing the exact same thing.
And another big hit right there as the special teams guru, number 34, Chandler, makes the tackle.
First and 10 for Fyffe.
So first and 10 for the Red Devils, ball on the 43. That's where Fyffe will take over. First and 10. Rusty, before we get caught up in the ruckus, and Jordan, before we get caught up in the ruckus of the game being over, and I'm sure a lot of Fyffe people will be coming onto the field, after the game. I just want to say it's been an honor and a privilege getting to broadcast with you guys and bring high school sports, to a new level around here. And I really have to say it's been a pleasure working with you guys, and I'm thankful for every second of it.
Well,
I appreciate it, Jake.
Oh, well, absolutely, man. Like I said, it's a dream job, it seems like, and oh, look at that. Well, actually, I thought someone came right over the top of the pile and just took off, but I was wrong. It was a blocker.
Kicks on the carry for Fyffe. He's brought down by number 32, Dylan Clark for the Bears. Brings up third down, Fyffe.
And the quarterback will keep it, trying to fight for the first down. Got really close. It's going to be 4th down and 1, and I would expect Fyffe to punt this ball away.
Number 43, Seth Benefield on the carry.
And you notice Seth Benefield in on right there. I mean, you know that, and with a last name like Benefield.
And he brings it 4th down for Fyffe.
And, you know, we thought we might see him actually a little more tonight with the injury, but Mashburn able to start with no problem at all. And, you know, I thought we would see a punt right here, but you know what? Look at this. Fyffe going for it.
Well, you know, this is one of those situations, if they get it, they can actually just ice the game. I don't think they're going to try to score. I just think they're going to try to put it away on running.
Well, we will find out because the first down definitely happened.
Number 43.
So 1st and 10, 2:48 left to go in the ball game.
It's 1st and 10.
What'd you say his name was? Quarterback.
Benefield. 1st and 10, Benefield coming up in the shotgun set, number 13. And he will keep it himself, finds a big hole and runs through, picks up another first down.
Number 43, Seth Benefield on the
He's going to be brought down by the safety, number 5, Ben Williamson.
1st and 10 for Fyffe.
That's going to temporarily stop the clock at 2 minutes and 17 seconds. And there it goes, ticking down.
It's and Albertville, everybody's welcome at your co-op store.
So another fresh set of downs for Fyffe.
And
this is right here, this play right here is going to break the 2-minute mark. And Benefield's going to hand it off.
And I believe that handoff going to number 34, Kyle Collins.
For Fyffe. He's tackled by number 33, Colby Jackson.
No, I'm sorry, it was number 24.
Number 50, Jake Black.
But actually, I have to be honest with you, I don't have number 24 on my roster, so.
You know, you would figure that they would retire the number 24 at Fyffe.
Well, yeah, you would think so, but Peyton Anderson is actually the gentleman wearing Trent Thrash's old number. Never hurts to have an extra cameraman around that they're filming for the Fyffe team. So Seth Benefield right there on the carry gets it down to the 20-yard line.
Carries for Fyffe.
And he's actually just shy of the 20.
By number 50.
By the tip of the ball. So
Zach Stevens.
Oh, and that's, you know, if you're a Plainview fan, that a student especially, that hurts to hear. If you're if you can't hear them, Plainview very famous for doing the "I believe that we just won" chant at the end of the ball games, and Fyffe student faithful just took that one over. Well, Rusty, you're going to get your wish.
Hallelujah. You know, it feels good to say, I shouldn't even be saying it right now, but it feels good to say that Fyffe didn't put up as much points against us or against Plainview than they did against Sylvania.
Yeah, as a Plainview fan, I knew you'd say it. So this one is going to go in the books, folks. Fyffe dominated this game from beginning to end. You know, a little hiccup right there, and we thought Plainview was going to be back in it. But this one is over, and the season is over, the regular season. So next week we move to playoffs. But Rusty, like I said, it's been a pleasure. Jordan, it has been a pleasure. For Jake Harris, for Rusty Kirk, I'm Jake Harris. This is SouthernTorch.com for the Sheriff Jimmy Harris Game of the Week, signing off for the last time this season. Basketball season just around the corner. We'll see you at the Win Agency Rundown here in just a minute.